changing the question a little bit, and
Yeah.
maybe, using the language that you know that your stakeholders might use. So say if you're in a story kickoff session with the product owner, and maybe there's an operations person there, so you can talk about, you can ask the different questions. It's like, well, and find out what they're worried about. So it's like, well, if the new story, the product person is worried about it having an impact on the rest of the system, or there's a particularly big event coming up or something like that when it will be released. It's like, well, you can ask the question of, how can we know the effects of this new feature on the existing features? So how can we make it more decomposable? Yeah. And it's like, well, how can we decouple that just in case there is a risk? So, and then the operations person will be like, yeah, because if it falls over, then, I can then say, oh, right, okay, I know it's been switched off or switched out, or however it is, then, that's a really important question. So it's like taking what they're worried about and turning it into either a decomposability opportunity, or observability, controllability, or an easier simplicity problem, a simplicity gain, which will get you more testability. So it's like, have a think about how you can phrase the questions more differently. But then you always have teams that might show a little bit less than enthusiastic. So it's like, well, how do you then flip that question around to speak to whatever it is that they're worried about from a risk point of view?
Okay.
So that's kind of how I approach.
Okay.